All right, hello YouTube, welcome back. So we are here again trying to build the Cinewhoop. This is the AlfaRC F2 Cineboy. We are finally going to try and build it today. We got some parts, did some modifications. We have new ducts inside of our foam bash guards or safety guards, whatever you want to call them. I did not like the orange ducts that came with it, so I changed it out. 3D printed some purple ducks here. They're pretty sweet. I like them. They weigh less, so that's always a plus. I did it to match my GoPro mount. For fun, I did this one off Thingiverse. There are no 3D printed parts for this drone yet. I have been lazy. I don't feel like modeling anything yet, but this is coming off of the Diatone Taycan, and it fits pretty well. So it's not bolted to the frame. It's just 3M double back tape. It's probably the best thing you can get because you don't need to bother screwing it in there. If you don't have double back tape, I suggest you go get it. Best thing out there. And for the mount, same thing. It was an adapted mount I made from Thingiverse. I like the adjustable mount. So we changed that one up on this one to this style adjustable mount. I blowtorched some nuts into the plastic and then super glued them in. That way it could be bolted on instead of zip tied. So now we'll get to the little parts list here, put that off to the side. So we are rocking some iFlight motors, 1408s. These should be good, I imagine. And we also got the, after that, we got a little iFlight LED kit because it was included. Why not? Could be kind of cool. We'll see how we're going to mount them up. Maybe put some LEDs shining in the ducts. Maybe we'll just mount them underneath, you know, along the arm. We'll see what happens. Not quite sure yet with that LED kit. As well, we are going iFlight again. This time here with the, what do we got? This is the flight controller. So this is going to be an F7 flight controller. As you see, we got a ton of cables. Any cable connector you could want. Got some rubber grommets, that's good. Definitely gonna use those to hopefully not have too much vibration in our flight controller there. You know, messing with our gyro. This is the twin gyro model. I'll get to that in a moment, but like I said, any connector you could ever want, it's here. We'll figure out what each one goes to, but should be pretty straightforward. Probably this one to use because I'm also using a iFlight ESC. So this F7 flight controller actually works right away out of the box with the DJI unit, so that's a plus. I think it's because it's rocking the 9-volt pad here for the DJI. So this is the Bluetooth variant also, as you can see. So we're gonna end up trying this one out. It's got all the 4 LED pads that these little suckers plug right into, so that'll be fun to use. And yeah, should be pretty straightforward. So there you go. F7 Twin G Bluetooth. So I don't really plan on using the Bluetooth, but you know, why not? Here we got our ESC. I think this is a 45 amp version. I've used these in the past on my other race drones. I definitely like these ones a lot. After my Mamba ESC burnt out, I got this one on a whim and it's pretty nice. It's lasted so far in my other drone, knock on wood, hopefully it keeps lasting and hopefully it doesn't catch fire on this one. As well, they got a nice sturdy XT60 plug with some, I don't know what, 18 gauge wire. So this is pretty nice. Definitely like that. As well, we got a capacitor and some other little rubber grommets. So we'll be mounting all that up. And for the VTX, because I'm trying to use some spare parts I got, we have here a Rush Racing. So this one should be good. Smart audio. We'll try and wire it on up into our Cinewhoop here. I have a smaller one, but I don't think it's smart audio. So this is definitely better because I don't know how I'm going to access these buttons to change the power. I'll probably try and figure it out. You know, I got this little back plastic piece here printed. So the buttons here kind of line up on these holes. So maybe I mount it sideways or something. I have no idea yet, but somewhere I could click the button to change the power would be kind of nice. In case I can't get smart audio working, but I'm sure it'll work fine. So yeah, that's what we got so far. We'll start soldering each of the motor wires and everything up and put a power lead on, and we'll see how it goes. But I'll time lapse it, and because I'm sure this is pretty straightforward, but if you need a build video, I'll link one in the description, you know, so you can follow that. And yeah, let's do a little time lapse. Alrighty guys, so I mounted up the ESC here, threw on my main power connector. So I mounted it vertically to the board. On the end, these ones, they got like a little recessed portion, a cutout, so you can fit them vertically. This is the best way to mount the power connector on this ESC for this board or this frame, because ideally there's no other way to put this power lead. At first I was thinking I would mount it out the back like as usual, just flat onto the pads, but you can't. For one, it wouldn't bend properly to stick through the hole here on the side, and I could cheat it and just put the 2 wire leads if you want it down, but then you'll never be able to take this off. So my other question, if this doesn't work out ideally, if I don't like it, I'm going to come in here with some snippers or something, you know, some kind of cutter. I'll probably come out here and I'll just cut the crossbar out, and that way I could stick the XT60 through there. But that's if I'm the last resort, if I really don't like it. But at the moment I think this is going to work good. Just popping it right here through the side. Everything's flat. This will all bolt on just fine. So this is definitely the way we have to do it on this frame. Just like every other cinewhoop out there, the power lead is always coming out the side. So this should work good. We'll keep building and seeing how it goes. But now that the ESC is done, we're gonna, well, not done, we're gonna wire up the motors, and then I'm probably gonna go up and around for the cleanest possible line. I think it'll work fine like that. And then I'll mount the flight controller. So so we got the ESC on. There's a power lead. Here's the little motor wire and power connector junction cable thing between the ESC and the flight controller. So next thing I'm gonna do is I gotta figure out how to put my VTX on. So this looks like a pretty similar cable. The VTX on this board is actually in the center. It says on our little sheet. So this is the main lead here. We're backwards. And so mostly all we need here, we got a video, ground, power, and the green should be smart audio. We'll see. And on the other end here, it's just got this random little another power and ground as if it was to run to the camera. So, but we're not going to do that. We're going to have the power for the camera and the signal actually go up here on the front. We got a cam, video out, and or video in and video out and everything. So this is what we're gonna end up using. We don't have to use this connector, but I'm going to because it's easy. It's right there on the back, and it's gonna be the closest distance to my VTX, and I'm going to somehow shimmy on over here somewhere, maybe even under that capacitor. We'll see. I might even just bend the capacitor up a little bit and throw it in there. All right, so now I'm looking at my little VTX here even more. I haven't used this in a while, but there's video here at the top. Oops, come on. There's a video at the top. Smart audio is the yellow here, and then ground and 5 volt. If we're comparing it to this one here, it's the same exact JSD connector. So something around here Yeah, so excluding these two little ones we don't need. We got ground or power and power, ground and ground. Third one here is smart audio, and there's our last one, video out. So honestly, this connector made it easy. This VTX made it easy. I don't have to mess with this one anymore. I can just plug and play. So that's pretty sweet. The only thing we've got to do is pop these two extra connectors out. And that's as easy as just sticking something under there and lifting them up. So try and stick something in there. Yep. And then give it a tug. Nope. And get a knife. See, come on under here. Try and give them like a little lift. Pop them out. Come on, ground. Don't be stubborn. Man. Oh, it's coming out. So there's our ground. Don't need that. And here is our additional power 5-volt out. Pull that one out, so we don't need that either. Everything is good. This one runs from 7 to 36 volts. So hopefully this flight controller here puts out 7 volts. I imagine it should, so if it doesn't turn on, then we will have to just route it a different way. But I imagine this one will be running off of proper voltage. So let's stick that sucker in there. Boom. Pretty nice, I like it. Now we just gotta figure out where we're gonna put this little guy, but we'll see how I wanna do it and then keep going from there. Order of business here is we're gonna wire up our receiver. I am using RXSR, so it's an AlfaRC receiver. We have here ground, 5-volt, smart port, and S-bus out. And on these pads here, we have our 5-volt at the top, our ground right here below it. R1 is where we're going to put our S-bus out, and our T3 is where we're going to put our smart port. So that's the difference here with this. I'm not running F port, I'm doing S-bus. So this is how we're going to stick that on here. And so we'll do that one. And on the top here, we got cam, video out, 5-volt and ground. I don't have my camera right now. That's coming tomorrow, so I'll end up doing that myself, but for the most part, that's explanatory. So let's go ahead and stick that puppy on. Stuck on pretty much everything. Throw in the little LEDs, they're programmable, so they probably won't light up when we fire it up. The VTX is on. It's a little bit tight with the thick lead, the power cable here, the thick gauge wires. The little receiver's wired up. Always put the antenna in the VTX. If you are going to plug it in, do not have no antenna in there, or it's going to probably kill your VTX. So yeah, everything looks decent. Always double check your motor connections, make sure none of them are touching. Blow it off. You know, if you're cutting wire, you know, trimming wire like these here, probably get rid of those on your workbench. You know, let's have less of a risk of stuff making a short. So moment of truth, let's plug this puppy in, pray that nothing's gonna smoke. So here we go. Power to the VTX, that's good, I'm liking it. So that means we got more than 7 volts going to the VTX. It probably runs off of battery voltage. We'll probably take a multimeter to that. These won't glow up because they're not programmed. But so other than that, everything looks pretty good. We'll see what happens when we plug into beta fight. And so we have finished the build here. This is about as done as it's going to get at the moment. I still do not have a FPV camera, but tomorrow I think that'll change, and then we'll wire that up. So I already undid the couple bolts I had holding it, but pop that off. Here we go. All neat, organized for the most part. So here we got my flight control board all stuck in there, and motor's all cleanly wired up. Everything powered on good. Fiddled with it in beta flight a little bit, and she finally started up. Reversed the motor directions inside of BL Heli. So here I got my VTX just zip tied there. I can still hit the button if I want to change channel through the top of the base plate or top plate, and through the little hole here I can actually hit that button with a Allen wrench, so that's good. My receiver's right next to it, and the antenna's just poking out the back. That other hole in the bottom worked out for my little MMCX antenna, so that's cool. But everything's good. I got the LEDs plugged in, put some random little thing on Betaflight with them, so they just flash purple. And so far it all works out a little bit fine and clean. Let's see what this is at. 11, that's low. All right, 14's better. So if we plug her in, she turns on, everything good. And my little LEDs are flashing there. I don't know if you can see them. Boom, boom, looking pretty nice. So it looks pretty good with the purple theme going. I'm digging it, and I'll get some flight footage going as soon as I wire up on my FPV camera and give it a go.